Good day. I'm Reverend Michelle, and I will be your speaker today. But before I get started, I want to give a special word of thanks and gratitude to all of those who work behind the scenes so tirelessly and so joyously to bring our Sunday morning times together. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and I just want to express my deep gratitude. Thank you. So my topic this morning is Find Your Magic. And St. Patrick's Day is this upcoming Wednesday, and it's a time now for celebrating all of the Irish culture and heritage. It's the wearing of the green, it is shamrocks, it is appreciation for the Irish music and dance and poetry. It's the leprechauns with the pot of gold, and for some it's Irish whiskey and green beer. There's a legend about St. Patrick that he drove all of the snakes and serpents out of Ireland. However, this comes into question because snakes were not native to Ireland. Some believe that that was symbolic of the driving out of the ancient religions, the change from the worship of goddess to God, the move from the divine feminine to the divine masculine. And so with respect to my pagan friends, I won't talk anymore about St. Patrick, but just be able to enjoy the magic of all those Ireland. And to take a look at those people who lived in Ireland before the time of Christianity. This was a pastoral religion and community, and it was based on the fertility of the land and the fertility of all that lived there. It was about the worship of the goddess, and it was about the care and survival of their entire tribe. These people had a very deep belief in magic. So, what is magic? Dictionary.com describes it this way: it's creativity, it's enhancement, it is movement, and it is change. Science of mind teaches us that thoughts are things, and that we create our reality with our thoughts. And these early people had a deep relationship with the earth. They believed that the elements, earth, air, water, and fire, all assisted them in their daily lives. They celebrated these with ceremonies and with rituals and with deep gratitude. They also believed that it was important that if you take something, it is important to give it back. When you take something from the earth, if you take down a tree, you plant another, so that the earth is continuously rejuvenating itself. These were very simple but profound ways of living. Vision and imagination, belief, acceptance, reciprocity, and gratitude. And this is how their magic worked. And this is how our magic works. So, how do we find our magic? We find our magic by finding our gifts. I find it so interesting that no two people are exactly alike. And there are millions of people. But we all come with our own flavor, with our own personality, with our own passions, with our own gifts, and with our own magic. Ernest Holmes stated it most eloquently in The Science of Mind on page 151, and I will read it. God manifests through individuals. No two people are alike. Each has a unique place in the universe of mind. Each lives in mind. Each contacts it through his own mentality in an individual way, drawing from it a unique expression of divine nature. If one makes themselves receptive to the idea of love, they become lovable. To the degree that they embody love, they are love. So people who love are loved. Whoever becomes receptive to the idea of peace, poise, and calm, whoever embodies these divine realities, finds them flowing through them, and they become peaceful, poised, and calm. There is a place in us which lies open to the infinite. But when Spirit brings its gift by pouring itself through us, it can only give us what we take. This taking is mental. If we persist in saying that life will not give us that which is good, it cannot. For life must reveal itself to us through our intelligence. The pent-up energy of life and the possibility of further human evolution works through our imagination and will. The time is now. The place is where we are, exactly where we are, and it is done to us as we believe. So, what do we want to create? What do we want to enhance? What do we want to move? What do we want to change? As the reading stated, there is a place within us that lies open to the infinite, the limitlessness, able to be continued indefinitely. It never runs out. So knowing the gift of Spirit has no limit, we can let our imagination, our magic, create, transform, mold, and enhance whatever we believe we can accomplish by allowing the gifts of Spirit to pour into us. Nothing is too difficult for Spirit. Nothing is too difficult for Spirit. So the first step is imagining what we want, allowing our minds to bring it into clear focus. What brings us joy? What brings us passion? What brings us peace, love, and abundance? As we sit with this vision, as we see it in our mind's eye, as we feel it, as we taste it, as we smell it, as we play with it and explore all of its limitness, the possibilities are endless. And this brings our belief because we have already experienced it in our minds. And belief is closely related to acceptance. When we believe in the universal law that says we create our own reality with our thoughts, and when we know that the universe is always conspiring for our best and highest good, when we know that we are valuable and that we are valued and that we are loved and we are loved, then we can accept the good that automatically flows. Step 3, reciprocity. Science of mind calls this the law of circulation. Matthew 10:8 says, "Freely have you been given, freely give." When the law of circulation is ignored, we become stagnant and we become out of balance. The Al-Anon 12-step program teaches that you can't keep it unless you're willing to give it away. Next, gratitude. As Reverend Louis says, an attitude of gratitude will set you free. Science of Mind says an attitude of gratitude is the chief graces of human experience and is crowned with a consciousness of unity. Gratitude crowns us with the consciousness of unity with all beings. When we are grateful for what comes into our life, no matter what it is, and we see it as an opportunity to learn and to grow and to expand our capability to love, rather than going into a place of judgment and self-pity and resentment, we actually take on that crown of conscious unity with all beings. So these steps light up our knowing of our magic. So how do we go about finding our gifts, our magic? What fills you with joy? What makes you want to spring up out of bed in the morning? What do you dream about? Remembering that nothing is impossible with the infinite spirit that lives within us. So those of you who know me know of my love of nature, that I love to be in the mountains, that I love to be by the river and by the trees. I also had this vision of owning my own little home that I could decorate in any way that I wanted, that I could make mine. And I imagined it. I drew it. I watched home fix-up programs so that I could look at colors and countertops and wall art. I experienced it in my mind. That was my step one. My step two was acceptance. So in July of last year, the opportunity to own my own little home and to decorate it however I wanted it, to live in the mountains with walking distance to the river, with deer and coyote out of my back door, presented itself to me. I wasn't sure at first. I'm human. The fear came up. Can I afford it? Will I be happy living away from Fresno? But then there was this quiet little voice within me that said, this is what you have dreamed of. This is the manifestation of your dreams that Spirit has brought to you. And so I accepted, remembering that Spirit brings its gifts by pouring itself through me. And I wasn't about to decline this amazing gift. My next step was step 3, and that's reciprocity. Giving back has been easy, and it's been a joy. I send my love vibrations to the land, to the water, to the rivers, to the trees, to the mountains, to the birds, and to all living beings. I pick up trash, and I will be involved in the community pickups and cleanups once I've had my second vaccine. I want to be a helpful, loving servant to my new community, and I want to share all of this with my friends and family that come to visit. Gratitude is the next step. I have to tell you, when I sit out on my deck in the morning and watch the sun rise over the mountains and hear the birds singing their songs of welcome, my heart is never not filled with the gratitude in that moment. And when I look around my little home that I have created and that I get to live here, again, I'm filled with deep gratitude. And as I walk along the river and I see her curves and her waterfalls and listen to the beauty of her music, I know that I have found my magic. So I invite you, if you are willing and want to find your magic. Vision with your imagination. Accept the gifts that Spirit pours into you. Give back with a happy heart and wear the crown of conscious unity. Namaste.